Hi. Listen, Marissa's my sister's dad.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, me and my sis Riss, and today we have two special guests, our mom and our dad, and we just wanted to have a cute little convo with them, talking about how we grew up and what they thought about raising us and all that kind of stuff.
No, more like an interview. We're gonna ask questions and then they can tell us what their answers are.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, so this is how we're gonna start off. Wait, no. How about you guys introduce yourself first?
Oh yeah,
I'm mom.
I'm Manny. I'm their father.
Good job, Dad. This is Debbie. This is our mom.
Okay, fine. I will start by asking, okay, let's see. I'm older than Alicia, so what was the biggest difference between raising me first and then Alicia?
What?
Was it getting prepared for me when you guys were gonna have me versus Alicia? Were you guys more prepared? Did you feel more prepared, or did it not really matter?
Well, your mom had more experience raising kids than I did, seeing that she had two before we were married. But we were as prepared as possible with you, although we learned along the way again. I'm sure your mom had to relearn a lot of stuff that she had known before. So you need a lot of attention. I think you were spoiled. You had two older sisters that were still there at the house, so I think we maybe overcompensated for you, and you got used to it. For your bottle, when you'd wake up at night when you were a baby, instead of just microwaving it like we did with Alicia, because we moved on with having to, we would put it in boiling water, we'd get the bottle, we'd put it in there, get it hot, and then we'd have to, you'd be starving, you'd be going out of your mind, hungry.
Still to this day.
And then when Alicia came along, we had a little more, we're more mature, more prepared, we had a little more experience because we had, had you. And you were also able to help, with Alicia. But as far as the bottle, we would just microwave it, and it was formula, so we'd feed her. Plus, and other things.
Let's hear from you. How was it for you, since you had Michelle and Elizabeth first before you had me and Alicia? So was there a difference, or was it?
So there's an 8-year difference between you and Elizabeth. So it was kind of like starting over again for me, because Michelle and Elizabeth, were already in elementary school and they were closer in age, and so I felt like I had twins with them or whatever. So when like I said, there's an age difference now between you and Elizabeth. So I felt like I was almost a first-time mom. Plus I was older, so I felt mature-wise, mentally, I was at a good place when I had you. I was happy in my relationship with Dad, I was. It makes a huge difference, Dad was very involved and he was helpful, and so it was good to have that team effort.
It was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I
enjoyable.
enjoyed. You were. We did. Like Dad said, we were very careful not to put your bottle in the microwave, and we didn't plop you on a pillow or whatever.
It's just one of the many.
Just because, it was like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. But when we had Alicia,
You guys didn't spoil her at first.
It's not that we didn't spoil her. It's just that we realized that putting the bottle of milk in the microwave wasn't going to be a big deal. I could plop her on a pillow as long as she was ready.
But you didn't have to go the extra.
Put her on a pillow, put something underneath it so she could drink her bottle, and as long as I burped her when I needed to, it was okay. So I think and of course by the time I had Alicia, I was 34, so I was even a little bit more mature.
Definitely.
But again, I had Dad to help me. I had Michelle to help, and
Marissa.
so.
At the end of the day, Alicia was less needy than Marissa.
Yeah, but times have changed.
But she, just because she was less needy didn't mean that she wasn't needy. She was needy in her own ways too.
I was the best.
Going off of that, so okay, that's you guys getting prepared. So now we're toddlers, we're in elementary school, growing up, how was it having Michelle and Elizabeth that were 8 years, 10 years older than me, and then me and Alicia growing up? How, I guess, what could you say were like differences that you saw, just me and Alicia, like who was more like outgoing, who was more like hard to take care of growing up, who was more needy in the sense like needed your attention or
I
wanted
will
to
say
be helped?
this, having Michelle and Elizabeth here, and you guys seeing them grow up and seeing the things they did, are both good and bad. For the things they did, the way they should have, and the things that they did the way they probably shouldn't have, you guys were witnesses to that, which helped in many ways.
Like behavior?
Yeah, which helped in many ways, you know, you learn it's probably not the best way to do this, or it is the best way to do that. Anyways, as far as raising you, what was the question?
Just differences that you saw while we grew up, like differences between our personality and how we would
with you,
be with you
you
guys.
had more time living here with Michelle and Elizabeth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember.
When Alicia was born, you know, Michelle was on her, you know, doing what she was doing, you know, and Elizabeth was growing up and going on her way out too, so she only had basically you at the time, so you saw some of the stuff. I think you were a little more, I needed to reel you in more than I had to Alicia.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say the same thing, even
I was
now.
gonna say, you know, you talked about elementary school. Okay, so you were always, you know, you were always very independent, you were very responsible. You did your homework. I mean, you were all about making sure that you get, yeah.
I was independent in elementary.
I didn't need to push Marissa to do, because Marissa was, you know, she had early time management. She was more responsible, I think, than you. You even though you needed help. You just needed that little bit more of a push than I think Marissa.
Wait, Mom just pushed you right now.
Oh, that's not no, I know, that's how the end out. No, but that's like a good question, because that's what Marissa's saying. Like,
Yeah, I
okay,
just wanna know, like,
Marissa,
how
I guess,
more-
is more independent, and I'm
Like when we were
not
little, I just want to know
independent.
if when we were little, if you guys could see that this is how we
Yeah.
would be
Did you
now.
guys know that this?
Or
Okay,
not little, but like growing up, you know, like if you could have.
did you guys see like this? This is how we would turn out, because it's still the same. Marissa does her thing, and you don't have to tell her to do it.
I
They
see.
want to tell her.
Now, like I say, she still needs to be reeled in at times.
Yeah.
I mean, she does. I mean, yeah, exactly, that's just the point. You think like you're out here and you're doing whatever you want, but sometimes you do need to be reeled back in and basically talked to. Yeah, I do, as she's younger, I may have babied her, you know, somewhat, but I would, you know, probably that's what I would do with any other, you know, younger child. If I had another younger child, they would be the one that was baby. But there are things that I would see that I would have to get involved when I saw, like, for example, if I was when I'd come back from overseas, I'm like, what the hell happened here? I mean, all of a sudden, things went, you know, not the way it was when I left, you know, and I would have to try to get back in, because, you know, your mom survived the way she did, you know, she took care of the house the way she took care of the house, and I mean, I could not have done the job she did while I was overseas. That was a job that, you know, only a woman could have done, you know, so.
One thing I want to say too, though, is that even though Marissa, you know, did pretty much like, she knew she had to do her homework, whatever, it didn't matter if she was in elementary school or she was in high school. I would still say, what did you do, you know, what kind of homework do you have today? Did you finish that paper or whatever?
Yeah, like
You know, we did that with both of them, and it didn't really,
remember that.
well, I did. I always asked, it was just, I did. I always did, and it didn't matter what age.
Yeah. Like, you guys saw our personality. It did help that we had Michelle and Elizabeth, because you guys had kind of gone through that before. But I would say, like, what is the hardest thing about being a parent? Even until now. Do you think it's harder being a parent of younger children, or do you think it's harder being parents of like how me and Marissa are right now? Or is it just different stages in your life?
I think it was, for me, it was like, once you guys got to a point where your social life became an issue, like you guys wanted to start doing things with friends, you know, like, before you could drive, obviously, you know, Dad and I would drop off, pick up, or another mom, wherever. But when Marissa got her license and she could now start doing things, that's when, for me, I was like, oof, you know, even though I was proud of her and I knew she was responsible, it was still kind of scary.
More
you know?
freedom.
Yeah.
What was your question again about your saying?
What
younger?
is it harder being a parent like when we were younger?
That's a hard question to answer, because
That's all.
unless I have younger children now, I can't compare it, you know.
Oh,
As
yeah.
we're parenting, we're growing up as well, you know what I'm saying?
But do you think
That's
that,
such a good speaker.
Dad, do
I
you
mean,
think
we're growing
that,
up as
but do
well,
you
so the experience that we had with you guys as you guys were younger, that's what we're going with, you know,
Awesome.
right now, to tomorrow, next month, next year, now we have you and Marissa that are older, so we're getting older and we're dealing with
It's just
you
different.
guys in a different way. Younger, there are things that we knew that you guys were gonna be, out, going out, so we weren't concerned about that or worried about that. We're proud that you guys have your jobs now, that you guys take care of your own business and all that. When you were younger, we would have to pay for certain things, so that's another way of, looking at it. It's not an easy question to answer.
Time that you were the most disappointed in me, and then the most disappointed.
Okay, well, for me, I have to say, as a mom having a daughter, I failed and not really did my job and made Marissa feel like really comfortable enough to come to me. So that was probably for me as her mom.
Go to Alicia now.
For Alicia, it was, let me think. When she told me that she was that she didn't have enough credits to graduate her senior year.
Mine was like 100 times worse.
Wait a minute, here I thought, Alicia was in cheer and she was, she had Marissa as a great example, taking
I
college
remember
classes.
everything much different than you did.
But, for me, that was my disappointing thing for Alicia.
I remember that you allowed her to not take certain classes.
That's not it.
Yes, and then
You
that,
do too.
no, I didn't. And then I go, no, she should be taking certain classes, and she
So
wasn't.
why didn't you make me take certain classes?
I go, okay, that's what's gonna happen, and we can go on about grades in
Okay,
school.
no,
Lying to me is a big disappointment. I can, when you guys, on many occasions.
Oh, that's you just saying that?
Yeah, I mean.
But you have to choose one, Dad.
Okay, one time when you came home, and I could smell.
You could smell something that she should.
I was such a disappointing child.
I could some other things here too. I could smell other times grades as far as that. Yeah, I mean, to me, well, it's
In high school,
JC.
everything that's
JC.
cool for you.
JC. I mean, all of a sudden you're just saying, I'm gonna work, and then Marissa comes down the stairs and says she's gonna be okay.
I was
Dad.
failing.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
I was failing.
And it was just a matter of lack of effort too. So, I mean, there's other things that probably don't need to be on camera that would be,
That's not good.
it's not bad. I'm just saying, I mean.
private.
Yeah. I mean, their business is their business. They do what they do, you know what I'm saying? But if I see them doing something I don't think they should, then yeah, that's gonna disappoint me. But all in all, they've been successful, so I mean, I can say.
Okay, so then from disappointments, what's the proudest?
Oh, yeah.
The most proudest time? Most proud time.
What's the proudest thing?
To me, is you guys taking lead and getting your schools, your education done and completed. That's a big deal to me. And the fact that you guys have now moved on and are employed and got a full-time job, I like that. You guys take care of business, you guys take care of your bills. All that means a lot to me. But the most important thing is loyalty and honesty and integrity, and those things you guys have, and I can't replace those traits. So.
Obviously.
Okay, Mom, your turn.
I agree with Deb. I mean, obviously, I didn't have, growing up with a single mom, Grandma really wasn't a push for education after high school, so she really didn't push for me to continue to go to college, and seeing you girls move on, and I remember, when Riss graduated from, UCI, I was like, oh my God, I can't even, this is amazing, it was so amazing, and then, to have Alicia follow in the same steps, it was just, a parent couldn't be prouder, but, you guys did make, some mistakes growing up, but the thing too is that you made the mistake, you saw what the consequence was, and you realized, I can't go that route again. I know now that this isn't what I want to do. So you guys have learned from things that you have done growing up, and like Dad says, at each chapter or each age of your life, if something happens and you can move forward in a positive way, you girls both recognize that.
I don't think I said that.
You were in right.
Yeah,
Anyways, okay, that was just a few questions, but hopefully we can video again because we wanted just to do a quick update with them or a quick interview with them because it would be fun and see what they had to say. But let us know what else you want to know from them. And what? Where are you going?
I don't know, just wait.
And you know what? I'm still needy and
Yeah, and we're good people. Okay. Anyways, but
Honestly, if you guys have the time to watch this, good on you.
anyways, thanks to my dad and my mom for sitting
thanks for
here
that.
and talking to you guys and making an appearance. Bye.
Bye guys.